Cedar Falls residents flocked to the Victorian Home and Carriage House Museum for the opening of the 2014 exhibit Before William Sturgis. This exhibit focuses on the Native American history and the settlement before William Sturgis settled into the Cedar Valley.
The reason I chose the topic for the exhibit was that I felt that we talk a lot about the European settlers that came to Iowa, but we very rarely have touched on the Native American population. And I felt that there was a good opportunity to teach people which nations had lived here before European settlement and show them some of the objects that those nations created. The objects that are on display here are beautiful. They were created primarily by the Meskwaki, but there's a couple Winnebago items. And this show will be up until the 8th of December. We have a great deal of programming attached to it, which we hope people will get out and enjoy that.
There were various items from different American tribes, but the items didn't all come from one place. The Cedar Falls Historical Society couldn't have made this exhibit possible without the help of surrounding historical museums.
Well, we've been really lucky that we've been able to borrow a lot of items from other museums, so people will be able to see things that they've never been able to see in the area. So we have artifacts from the State Historical Museum in Des Moines. We have a number of items from the State Archaeologist's Office, and we also have some from the UNI museums as well. So people will be able to see a lot of older beaded work, dolls, baskets, a birch bark canoe, a model-sized birch bark canoe, a lot of different things that show that history prior to 1845.
During the opening celebration, Julie gave a brief introduction of how she chose the topic of the Native American tribes and which tribes the exhibit focuses on.
But I did a lot of research, and then I started writing. And what I ended up writing looked like it was going to end up as a James Michener novel. And so I figured, okay, this isn't going to work. There's just simply not enough room on the panels and the cases to accommodate all these words. That is actually the point that I'm trying to make. The Native American experience in Iowa is so vast and detailed. It lasted for such a long period of time that there's no way that you could ever sum it up in one small exhibit. Volumes could be written about any one aspect in that show. They have been written: the Oneida culture, the clash of European and Native American cultures. I tried to tell the story of the Native Americans in this area, which basically boiled down to the Iowa, the Meskwaki, the Sac, and the Winnebago.
The gallery is not only focused on the history of these tribes, providing historical items and readings, but the Cedar Falls Historical Society has also added a replica of a shelter dating back to the tribal era.
The Wickiup that you see in the center of the gallery is a quarter-sized Wickiup, and it represents the winter homes that the Meskwaki, the Sac, the Iowa Indians lived in. Obviously could not make it out of the natural materials that it normally would have been made out of, because I couldn't have willow branches deteriorating in the gallery for the next 8 or 9 months. But I feel it's a fair representation of what that home would have been like.
Obviously, this Wickiup will cater more towards children to crawl into, but this isn't the only thing that children can look forward to throughout the exhibit.
We really do hope that children come down and see what we have to offer in this show, because we do have activities. We have the Wickiup that they can crawl into and play in, and we have some of the programming that we have is going to be geared towards children. We're going to have a story hour on a Saturday morning in June. So that will be Native American children's stories.
The Historical Society will also hold numerous events and activities for people of all ages to attend. Thursday, May 15th at 7 p.m., the Hartman Reserve Nature Center will host traditional skills and native plants. Saturday, June 21st at 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m., there will be a storytime video for families called The Tales of Wonder, Native American Stories for Children. Saturday, July 19th at 3 p.m., the Iowa Department of Transportation will also hold an educational event. Saturday, August 9th at 3 p.m., the University of Northern Iowa will host the Prairie Ecosystems event. And lastly, September 27th of next fall at 3 p.m., a couple archaeologists will discuss the history of stone tools. So why not take the time to come down to the Victorian Home and Carriage House Museum to learn more about the Native American history and the tribes that settled before William Sturgis. Reporting for Cedar Falls City News, I'm Bridget Reedy.